A portion of this video is brought to you by Sheath Underwear. For more information about Sheath, visit the link in the description below or wait till the end of this video to hear more about them from me. He's giddy over the prospect. This is authoritarianism. This is fascism. If yesterday was not alarming enough for you, if you were one of those people who's like the media, corporate media, giving all kinds of second chances to Donald Trump and the benefit of the doubt, just drowning Donald Trump in the benefit of the doubt. If you're one of those people, I hope this story wakes you up. It involves an exclusive reporting from the Washington Post, but also it comes on the heels of something that Pete Hegseth said yesterday on Fox News. Here's the headline from the Washington Post before I get to that Pete Hegseth clip. This is exclusive again. Pentagon plan would create military reaction force for civil unrest. Documents reviewed by the Washington Post detail a new National Guard mission that, if adopted, would require hundreds of troops to be ready around the clock. QRF, quick reaction force, to deploy not to some war zone, not to go assist with the genocide in Gaza being perpetrated against the Palestinian people by Benjamin Netanyahu. No, not that. A quick reaction force to a city near you. And it's nice that this reporting just came out because Pete Hegseth said just as much yesterday with Laura Ingraham talking about if you shoot at us, we're going to gun you down. There's going to be consequence for your actions. American citizen, if you have something negative to say about the occupation of American cities by the United States military and federal agents. First, let's go to Pete Hegseth, and then we'll read from the article.
Will the National Guard be detaining Americans on American soil?
Under Title 32, which is the authorization they'll be using, they have broad latitude, but they're not going to be involved in law enforcement functions. They will be standing right alongside our federal agents like they were in Los Angeles. They're going to be proactive. If you take an action or a shot at them, there will be a consequence. So,
if a crime is being committed, in other words, and a National Guardsman sees a crime being committed, then what?
They can come alongside and assist law enforcement.
What if law enforcement isn't on that corner?
I will have their back to ensure they can take the necessary action to protect citizens of D.C. and to protect themselves. So there's no rogue law enforcement going on from the National Guard, but there's also the application of common sense. We're not going to have National Guardsmen sitting there like this, seeing a crime committed and not do something about it. You can help somebody, interdict, temporarily detain like we did in Los Angeles, and hand over to law enforcement.
Broad latitude. If you take a shot at them, what are you talking about? This machismo nonsense is just, can we give it a fucking rest? No one's looking to shoot at National Guardsmen who likely don't want to be here, don't want to be doing the thing they're ordered to do, occupying United States cities, oppressing citizens of the United States of America. This is from the Washington Post. The Trump administration is evaluating plans that would establish a domestic civil disturbance quick reaction force composed of hundreds of National Guard troops tasked with rapidly deploying into American cities facing protests or other unrest, according to internal Pentagon documents reviewed by the Washington Post. Might I remind Pete Hegseth and Donald Trump that the right to assemble, to redress your government, is enshrined and protected by the United States Constitution in the First Amendment. The same United States Constitution that both Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth have sworn an oath to on multiple occasions. It's the same Constitution that each and every one of the individuals who wear a uniform in the military of this United States, they have also sworn an oath to. All they're doing here is begging for problems so they can come down with an iron fist. We've heard Donald Trump how many times speak glowingly and admiringly, lustfully, jealously about Kim Jong-un and Xi Jinping from China ruling their people with an iron fist. He's giddy over the prospect. This is authoritarianism. This is fascism. The plan calls for 600 troops to be on standby at all times, so they can deploy in as little as 1 hour, the documents say. They would be split into 2 groups of 300 and stationed at military bases in Alabama and Arizona with purview of regions east and west of the Mississippi River, respectively. Cost projections, remember, we're in the era of fraud, waste, and abuse, and we have to be good stewards of the taxpayer dollars. Even though Donald Trump is now building a nearly $250 million ballroom while shutting down USAID, they're projecting this could be hundreds of millions of dollars for this force that at any moment can deploy to United States cities to quell protests, to quell citizens who are exercising their constitutional rights. Cost projections outlined in the documents indicate that such a mission, if the proposal is adopted, could stretch into the hundreds of millions of dollars should military aircraft and air crews also be required to be ready round the clock. Troop transport via commercial airlines would be less expensive, the documents say. That's how deep these plans have gone. They're weighing, should we fly Delta to go usurp constitutional rights and violate people's constitutional rights? Or should we use military transport and have them at the ready 24/7? The proposal, which has not been previously reported, represents another potential expansion of President Donald Trump's willingness to employ the armed forces on American soil. It relies on a section of U.S. code that allows the commander-in-chief to circumvent limitations on the military's use within the United States. The documents, marked pre-decisional, are comprehensive and contain extensive discussion about the potential societal implications of establishing such a program. They were compiled by the National Guard's officials and bear timestamps as recent as late July and early August. Fiscal year 2027 is the earliest this program could be created and funded through the Pentagon's traditional budgetary process, the documents say, leaving unclear whether the initiative could begin sooner through an alternative funding source. And then finally, when reached for comment, of course, nobody has anything to say. It is also unclear whether the proposal has been shared yet with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. Spokespeople for the Defense Department declined to comment, and the National Guard Bureau did not return a request for comment. What's it going to be like in 1 year from today? Think about that. Donald Trump, in an unjustified manner, has deployed troops into the nation's capital to occupy, as though we are a foreign nation, as though we are Baghdad in the early 2000s. There is no war zone. There is no predicate for this. This is just a power grab, a trial balloon, if you will, to see how much pushback he gets. So he can replicate this effort in LA, in Chicago, in New York City, in San Francisco. He's not going to be attacking blue, or he's not going to be attacking red states with Republican governors. It's going to be a measure of retribution against states that largely did not vote for him, because Donald Trump has a grudge, obviously. Anyway, very important that we talk about this, that we don't stop talking about this, that this, one, is the ultimate distraction from people talking about the credible accusations that Donald Trump has raped children. His decade and a half long best friendship with Jeffrey Epstein, a notorious trafficker, an abuser of kids. Donald Trump's good buddy. He used to raise a terrific guy, Donald Trump says. This is the ultimate distraction from that. I mean, he's upping the ante as we go day by day. How far do I have to go until Epstein stops being a thing we talk about? That's what he's doing here. Anyway, what do you think? I invite you to this conversation. We can have it right below this video in the comments. You can also call the voicemail line 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. Don't let this story out of your sight. Also, don't let Epstein out of your sight. These things need to continue to be talked about. Share this video, share these stories, share the source on the Washington Post articles, share the clips on Twitter and Blue Sky, wherever you are. We need to keep the heat on Donald Trump and his fascist lapdogs. I'll see you next time. I appreciate you very much. Be genuine. Take care of one another. It is absolutely difficult to keep a cool head in this political climate, especially with the added aggravation of these overheated outdoor temperatures. How can you be expected to conduct any clear-headed discourse with your drawers in a sweaty soup? My go-to for keeping things cool, sheath underwear. I'm wearing a pair right now, and let me tell you, it's like nighttime in the desert down there all day long. Head to sheath.com and use promo code Dollemore to score 20% off and upgrade yourself to the most comfortable underwear that you'll ever wear. How do they differ from your average boxers? Well, let me tell you. Invented by a U.S. Army veteran while serving a tour in Iraq, Sheath's boxer fabric is designed with a moisture-wicking technology. Their underwear features a unique dual pouch system that keeps all your man parts comfortably separated instead of sticking together. We all know the feeling of the old eggs getting stuck to the pan, if you know what I mean. My favorites are the airflow meshes, which seem especially equipped to handle my thighs. They're bigger thighs. But Sheath has also tons of other fabric options and designs that you can get into. And I'm clearly not the only one singing the praises out there. Sheath are recommended by multiple doctors and urologists and have over 20,000 five-star reviews. Also, Sheath supports multiple charities like Socks for Soldiers and Doctors Without Borders. So while you're upgrading your undies, you can be making the world a more upstanding place too. It's tough to focus on draining the swamp when you are swampy mess yourself. Sheath's boxers will help you keep the temperature down by bringing up the level of comfortability. Score 20% off right now at sheath.com and use promo code Dollemore.